So what do grapes have to teach us about adversity, and how did the worst injury of my entire life turn into one of the best things to ever happen to me? Grapes are one of the oldest crops in human history, and especially after people figured out you can make wine out of it, it became a staple in tons of places and tons of cultures around the world. And since grapes have been around for so long, and because there's a certain financial incentive, farmers and winemakers have been doing different experiments for years trying to figure out what makes the best grapes and what makes the best wine. Like giving the vines a bunch of sunlight versus hardly any sunlight at all, giving the plants a whole lot of water or not quite enough water, planting the grapevines in a place where they have tons of space where they can spread out and do whatever they want versus being crowded with other plants and lots of weeds and having to kind of fight for every nutrient that they get. And what they found over the years is that when life is easy, the plants will produce tons of vines, tons of leaves, but very few grapes. And even the grapes they produce aren't very big, they're not very sweet, they're not actually any good for winemaking. But when the plants have a certain amount of adversity, they make tons of grapes, and they're big and delicious and sweet, and those are the grapes you want for your wine. They're going to make you the most money. They're going to be the absolute best for your business, for your customers, for everybody. That's why the old saying is, a struggling vine makes the best wine. So at different points in the growing season, they will purposefully not give the plants enough of what they need, not enough of the resources and the nutrients and the sunlight and the water and all that kind of thing, because it turns into the best possible version of the grapes later. Now, there is a certain limit to this. You can't just absolutely deprive the grapes of everything and expect them to do anything other than shrivel up and die. So keep that in mind. It's all about finding the right amount of adversity. And so as far as hustle culture in general, you know, you have the people that are like, I work for 26 hours a day, I work 9 days a week, I haven't slept in 14 years, I will sleep when I'm dead. Yeah, don't do that. That's unproductive, unsustainable. It will not produce greatness long term, no matter how much you believe or hope that it will. So just kind of keep that in mind. Grapes can teach us that as well. But my point is that people are a lot like grapes in that comfort doesn't usually lead to great art. I mean, heartbreak and hardship generate a lot better stuff than just sipping Mai Tais on the beach. So trust me when I tell you this, you were made to walk uphill. You were built for it. And you were made not only to thrive in adversity, but to thrive because of it. So don't give up. Don't just lie down. C.S. Lewis once wrote, you find out the strength of a wind by walking against it, not by lying down. So I encourage you to find out the strength of the wind. Don't just cower as soon as you feel a light breeze. And as any good sailor will tell you, whenever you're facing a headwind, whenever you've got a force trying to push you in the opposite direction, don't fight it. Adjust your sails, capture the resistance, and turn it into forward progress. And just speaking from my own life, back in March of 2020, I was living in Honduras, and literally the day before the country shut down because of COVID, I was playing basketball and I absolutely just shredded my ankle. At first, I thought it was just a bad sprain, but after several months, I still couldn't run or jump or play with my kids or do really much of anything without a tremendous amount of pain. But the country was still shut down, so I couldn't go to the doctor, I couldn't get an x-ray, couldn't get an MRI. I was just trying to figure things out on my own, looking up videos on YouTube, just talking to friends, like, what is wrong with my ankle? Why is it still so messed up? Eventually, as things opened up, I was able to go to doctors and physical therapists and surgeons, but none of them could figure out what was wrong with my ankle, and it would actually take them 17 months before they would figure it out and be able to fix it. And I honestly wanted to just feel sorry for myself and feel frustrated and play through all the scenarios. I mean, it was literally the day before lockdown. If we had had another game later in that week, it could have happened then because all the games were canceled, or it was just such a frustrating time. And now, because the country shut down and we were teachers, I was teaching in the mountains of Honduras at the time. I had a group of friends and they were getting together every day, playing basketball and lifting weights and running and hanging out and doing all the stuff because we didn't have a lot to do. School was shut down. We couldn't do virtual anything at the time. And so there I am just watching all of them go play and have fun and do things, and there I am just on the couch hanging out. And my thought was, if I can't exercise and be me and do things like normal, then I just won't do anything at all. But after a couple weeks of just sitting around feeling sorry for myself, my wife encouraged me and she suggested that I started walking, and we actually just started going on walks together there on the school's campus. I couldn't run, I couldn't jump, I couldn't lift weights or all the normal stuff, but I could walk. So that's what I did. I started walking pretty much every day, and also using the time and extra energy that I had to really lean into creative work. And during that time and during some of those walks, I ended up having ideas that turned into the biggest, most fun, most profitable projects that I have ever worked on. Projects that completely changed my life and my business for the better. Now, like I said, eventually, after 17 months, a surgeon was able to figure out what was wrong and go in and fix my ankle, and thank God I can run and jump and play with my kids again. But I will always be thankful for that 1.5 years of adversity. And I don't know what you're facing in your life right now. I don't know what trials and tribulations you're experiencing, but I just want to encourage you to see if you can find a way to capture that resistance, to capture that adversity and get it to push you forward. I mean, you might just be surprised by what you can create during and because of the most challenging times of your life. You got this. And if you're lying down right now, if you've run into a wall and you're just not sure what to do or if you can get up, you can. Trust me. Get back up, get back out there. Good things are gonna happen. And this might just turn into one of the most pivotal moments of your life. And I look forward to seeing what you create. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.